All right, so we are live. So welcome in. I'm going to get just a couple more posts happening over here and over here. So while I get that happening, don't forget to share this out and invite your friends in. That gives everyone there. Kind of mark that down. Also, don't forget that we have the Discord channel that you can be a part of, which is, of course, free. And there's lots of content that happens there, lots of conversations and events that take place periodically. So always feel free to join that over there. Also, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell notification, and enjoy today's giveaway. So the membership program has gone quite well overall, and I'm very excited about all of the interactions and comments and people taking advantage of all of the video content. So as my way of saying thank you, I want to share some of those memberships. So YouTube recently had sent out an email saying that you can now give away free memberships. And I was like, okay, great. I was wondering what I was going to do this Christmas, and now I have my answer. So, okay, all of those things are now posted. So today, in addition to doing the membership giveaways, we'll do, there's two questions I had posed, or a question I had posed here, which is the first one being, how long have you been playing the Shakuhachi for? And the second question is, what aspects of playing the Shakuhachi presented the greatest challenges for you? So for people who had answered the polls so far, it seems that the people right now are either less than 1 year or 1 to 5 years. And let's see, 60% of people were less than 1 year, 40% of people was 1 to 5 years. And as for the second question, what aspects of playing the Shakuhachi presented the greatest challenge for you? We have one answer so far, which is by Christian Briggs. The aspect of playing Shakuhachi that has caused me problems has been performing. I can't play for myself, but suggest I play for others, and everything tightens up and tone becomes bad. So I think what you mean is you can play for yourself, and it's not that big of an issue, but then as soon as the audience member dynamic comes in, then all the problems start to arise. And I think the comforting thing to know there is that you're not alone, where many people feel that same sort of anxiety when it comes to performing shakuhachi, or just in any instrument in general, especially if there's something attached to it. Like, for example, it's a concert that is required for a test of some sort with shakuhachi, a next level of menkyo. Maybe it's a competition of some sort, or maybe it's one that you're selling tickets for, or maybe it's just one that you really want your friends and family to enjoy the performance, so you have the added anxiety of pleasing other people. So I understand all those things, and I will tell you, one of the best things for this, and unfortunately, it's I'll give you a couple things that can help with that. And thing number one is that the more you do it, the better it becomes. Meaning that if you start to perform more consistently and put yourself in front of people, you will get used to it, and then it will actually be less of a concern. The second thing would be this. One of the things that we can do to alleviate some performance anxiety is to mimic the circumstances in which they occur, and then start to play. So how would one do that? So what I tell some of my students who really struggle with this is, I say to them, go work out or go run really quickly, run up and down the stairs a couple times to get your heart rate racing, to mimic the feeling of the anxiety of the heart palpitations right before you get on stage and play. Then play your piece. So that way, what you're doing is, at least within that circumstance, you're creating something that's like it. So that way you can say, okay, if I do this, if I take a deeper breath before I start, or as I play, I can feel the heart rate slowing down. You can kind of develop a way of alleviating some of those anxieties when you walk into your performance. So it's not the fastest solution for the two. Both of them will take time and lots of a lot of trial and error, right? So you'll have to practice this and then also do the performance and see how that you can apply those ideas. All right, HSBP, our favored moderator here, it says, same here, stage fright is the biggest issue for me. Pitch would be number 2. Yeah, and pitch is one that just for everybody is quite problematic, and it's a very difficult one. Okay, so we have we're at the first part of the hour, and so we're going to give out our first 5 gifts. So once what you can do for this is you just go and click that apparently, and you can grab those and you can get a membership. There you go. Merry Christmas. And we will give out more afterwards as well. And for those who are also here too, you can also purchase the memberships as well and gift memberships too, if you'd like. So how's it going? So we have RYZU as gift and membership, Oliver was gift, Starlight Gamer, Kenny, Player, and Brian. Hey, how's it going? So you guys all got memberships, so I hope you enjoy the content. It's good for 1 month. And after that, you would have to renew if you would like to continue with it. So I will be giving out more, so please stay tuned and ask your questions while you're here. And I think another thing with the pitch too. Let me give another point on pitch, because I think that another aspect of pitch that's overlooked, I think, is that too often when we say we're going to work on pitch, what we end up doing is we take out the tuner and we place that on our stand, and then we start to play our notes, and it sort of maneuver the note around, and we watch the tuner and go from red to kind of green, back to red to kind of green. Now it's sharp and now it's flat. And I want to propose that that's the worst way to do your pitch training. And here's why. When you do it like that, what ends up happening is you're training your eyes and not your ears. Because when you play the pieces of music, and let's say you're just going to start the opening of Hifumi Hachigaishi, for example, and that's a relatively difficult place because you start on a tsumeri, and you go to the tsudaimeri, and then mashing with the ro. So let's say you start watching the tuner, and you're is usually what it ends up sounding like when people are looking directly at the tuner. Nothing about that practice that you just did was engaging the ears. So a better way to do this is to work with the drone. Now, with the drone, you can place it on E flat, or you can place it on D. And I'll give an example of that quickly. Just pulling it up and just showing you that it is a much, in my opinion, much better way of working. Because, again, we're Japanese music isn't 12-tone equal temperament. We're not trying to play a perfect E flat. We're not trying to play all of these notes as if a piano was playing. So here's a D, or sorry, it's an A. Here we go. So I match with that. I know that the E flat is just one step above that. And there already, I'm not looking at the tuner. I have to listen. I have to listen to create the relationship between every note that I'm playing. So then when that goes away, you can say, okay, so the E flat is here. Okay, I'm remembering the sound of ro. I'm remembering that sound, so I know where ro is now. In relation to ro, here's my tsumeri. And so on and so forth. Another thing to keep in mind too is that when you develop what this is called relative pitch. When you develop relative pitch, you won't have to force yourself always to be at 440, meaning like the standardized concert pitch, which is now changing a little bit. There's orchestras that tune a little bit sharper and so on and so forth. But the thing with shakuhachi and all wind instruments, but I think more so shakuhachi, is that during seasonal changes, the pitch of your instrument will change too. So right now the temperature is 3 Celsius here. It's dropped a lot significantly from yesterday, which was about 16, 17 degrees. So we've had a 13-degree plummet in weather. So all of my flutes are going to play flat because it's how cold it is. So I have to play a bunch more for the pitch to raise back up so the internal bore of the instrument warms up. With relative pitch, if I already know I'm going to be about 10 to 15 cents flat because of the weather, well, big deal. It doesn't matter. I can still play, and I can play everything in tune with myself. When you're really stuck with I have to use my tuner, well, you're going to be constantly adjusting to play sharp, and then playing regular, and then playing flat, and so on and so forth. It's just, yeah. I know it's a long-winded explanation, but my true recommendation is to utilize a drone so that you can develop a relative ear. Then you can freely play whenever you'd like. Brian says this: most tuners either aren't responsive or accurate enough. I find good strobe tuners with sense display great for directed practice to acquire the muscle memory for pitch bending on any instrument. Yeah, that's another issue too. I think that the iPhone is actually really good when it comes to pitch recognition, but even then, there's some funky things that are happening with the shakuhachi's harmonics. It's a very overtone rich instrument, and each note is quite complex. So the tuners don't discriminate on pitch the same way that we do with our ears. We're always going to the fundamental when we hear a note. Brian continues in saying that I do mostly practice over backing tracks with other musicians, and that's great. Like, that's a great way to do it too, because again, you're listening with those people, right? You're listening, and then you're almost collaborating on the pitch, and that's another great way to practice. So let me ask you all, what aspects of playing the shakuhachi presented the greatest challenge for you in the beginning stages, and what challenges do they present now to you as we go into our first 10 minutes segment being over? So 10-minute segment on practicing with pitch practice and anxiety of the stage. What are things that bother you the most and present the greatest challenges for you when it comes to shakuhachi? That is our our continued theme of question and answer here. And we have our poll is kind of changing at the top here of how long you've been playing shakuhachi for, which is less than 6 months is now 11% of people. Less than 1 year is 33% of people. Wow, we just got another change. 1 to 5 years is 60% of people. So now we're at 10, 30, 60 at the top there. 5 years or more is nobody yet. I wish I could enter in my own poll, but I can't. But it's not about me, it's about you. So very good. Motivation to learn a new piece. That's a good one, Christian. That's a good one. Motivation to learn a new piece. That's a struggle. And I can understand that too. because you have this body of work that you really like. Now, for myself, as being a composer, um, and having a degree in composition, I'm always about the new music, and um, wanting to play the next piece has just always come naturally to me, and learning something new and seeing the new stuff. What I would suggest is that the new piece, Christian, has something to offer you to inspire or to reinvigorate the love of the old pieces. That in the new piece you'll find something that'll give you a new way to approach your old piece. I think that might be the way to look at it as you start to go for this, and that might give you the motivation to say that it will drive everything that you've learned prior upwards, making it maybe easier to play, maybe giving you a new technique to experiment with. Maybe you discover a new tone color, or maybe this new piece is really difficult, and it gives you a new technical virtuosity that when you go back to those pieces, all of the pieces that you loved playing, you love playing even more because now they come even more naturally. I think maybe that might be a few ways to think about it. And also, I think maybe even a harder one, Christian, maybe in a more difficult thing to do is to learn pieces outside of the normal genre that you do. So motivation to learn outside the genre. So, for example, for myself, I have almost zero motivation to learn any new Sankyoku piece. So when I do have to learn a Sankyoku piece, here's how I go about it. Because it's not that Sankyoku is a bad musical genre or that it doesn't have anything to offer. It does. And this is my way of getting myself to learn it and appreciate it, is that I go right to the poetry, and I read the background story of the piece. And so then when I'm playing the piece, I can think, this is this part of the poetry, and I'm thinking of the beautiful, classical Japanese script and the profound meaning that it has there, and that gives the piece meaning for me as well as motivation to continue playing it. Svenja cheekily says, being afraid of my teacher. Well, I can't help you with that. I was afraid of my composition teacher for a while. And I think I've told many people the story of one of the pieces I wrote. I won't mention which composition teacher it was, but I wrote a piece, and it had a small performance, and usually, with the composition teacher, one of the first things you do is, if you have a performance, is you listen back to it together and you discuss it. And he looks at the piece, and before we even heard it, because he was at the performance and he heard it, of course, he says, you should take that piece out back like Old Yeller and shoot it, never to be seen again. Like, well, don't tell me how much you really like it. Don't tell me how you really feel now. And Svenja continues, it's better nowadays. I don't think I've ever told you to take a performance of yours out back like Old Yeller, though. So you haven't gotten there yet. I remember one time the same teacher had told me, I brought in this piece. It was like fresh new ideas, a full second movement of this piano quintet that I was working on. And so I bring it in and I show him the second movement, and he starts humming through it and whatever, and he gets to the end. It's like, good. What else do you have to show me? I'm like, what? You don't say good. There's problems here, right? And it was a very very strange moment for me. All right, our first poll, how long have you played Shakuhachi for, is now updated even a little bit more. So less than 6 months is now 9%. Less than 1 year is 27%. 1 to 5 years is now 55%, and 5 years or more is 9% of our voters here. And it's 11 votes in. And we have 13 people watching. And please feel free to ask any questions as we approach the next session, where we'll give out some more memberships. So the continued question: what aspects of playing the shakuhachi presented the greatest challenges for you in the beginning of your playing, or what are they now? What are those things? And I can tell you one of them for me, and which is I hate warming up. It's one of the things I can't stand doing, and I feel it's burdensome. And so one of the things, for example, let me tell you what I mean by warming up too, is that it's not just playing your morning roll. It's not just doing the scales or anything. Those actually, those sort of things I quite enjoy. It's the stretching. Like stretching the quads and the hamstrings and making sure that the body is loose and but also warmed up. That kind of stuff I really don't like doing. I'd rather just sit here and watch a couple YouTube shorts and then say, okay, I guess I'm ready to play now. That's warmed up. But really stretching out the arms and the legs and making sure that your body is moving. That's really tough for me, and that's one of the things that I have to get a lot better at. And it's why I like hiking so much, because it's a great way for me to get my body in motion, and then I can go and play and whatever. And I always find myself, after I've stretched, every single time I stretch, every single time I do a light workout before I play, I always sound way better. But it just, for some reason, it's just some reason there's a stumbling block that's put there. Jean-Pierre, hi Sean. Hello, Jean. I found out, Jean, that both of our names are actually related. There's used to be a joke that in order to be a good composer, you have to be named John, or have some sort of variation of the name Jean. And I was doing an etymology of my name, and I realized that it actually comes from the Greek Ioannis, which is basically just John. So we share that in common. Svenja says, oh yeah, just this morning I had again a moment. Play something for me. It's still early and I'm barely awake. I need to play more to get used to it, but stretching before sounds good. No, it really does. I don't know what it is, but also for myself, just getting the body in motion, right? It just helps. Like, for example, today I haven't stretched at all, and so even like playing some of the rows, they feel a little bit like I don't feel like I have as much air as I normally do. John comments, nice, and it's probably true. I wouldn't put it past it. It's like, yeah, a lot of famous composers named John, and it's there's two famous composers, both named John Adams. Both of them, and both of them living. Both are vastly different music, and both are very famous. So, no, I think it's hilarious. All right, 2 minutes before we give out our next set of memberships here. We'll do it right at the 20-minute mark. Now 1 minute. So continue to ask me what questions that you might have, or just statements that you have about what are the aspects of shakuhachi that present the greatest challenges for you, both in the beginnings of your shakuhachi journey and as well as now. So, of course, as I related just now, that mine is being the maybe not so much as playing, but getting ready to play and wanting to stretch and get prepare myself for those first notes is actually the most difficult thing for me. And today too, we have I'm doing things a little bit differently with the stream, is that I actually have it on a normal latency, meaning that it's about a 30-second to 45-second delay on when I say something. So that's also something a little bit different too. And I think I prefer this more because it goes, the streaming quality should be better. So you can tell me, how is the audio quality, how is the video quality compared to previous streams if you remember them. I haven't done a live stream in a while. Okay, and now an update for our first poll. We have an additional vote here, and it looks like we have another person who has been playing for 5 years or more, so welcome in. Welcome in. I was trying to put even more in here. I wanted to put 10 years or more. I was going to put 5 to 10, and then 10 and plus. And but these polls are only allowing me for 4. And since a lot of the things which I focus on is getting people started for shakuhachi, the first year of playing is it's really important to me, because the initial stages, the fundamentals, that's key. It's key for me, and I think it should be key for everybody else. So, Christian, thank you for letting me know that it seems fine. Svenja also remarks, right now in this moment, Muraiki and playing a Fukikiri right after Nayashi. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff there. I think like Muraiki is one of those things too that like when I first heard Muraiki and I like actually definitionally understood what it was, I was like, I have to learn that technique. I must learn it. And I'll kind of show you how I went about it. I had no real advice or guidance in terms of how the technique went or how the technique goes. And so what I was trying to do is I just wanted to get something of that rolling airy effect in the music. So I took the fourth line of shakuhachi, the fourth line of shakuhachi, the fourth line of Honshirabe, and get to that ru, and then there's that ro tsu afterwards. And on the ro, that's where I started to put the air in and try to, get some of that rolling sound. And what would end up happening is I would get, every once in a while, I would get a, and there's that little bit of roll there. Then, or I'd start to elongate it. And so on and so forth. Then, after I started to feel like, okay, now, before I continue on, what ended up being funny, though, is that I could only do Muraiki at that point. I could only do it on that row in that circumstances, but I couldn't just start on that note and do it. I have to play lines 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I would hit the Muraiki, which is I just found, looking back on it, hilarious, but very, very frustrating. So what I tried to do then is I tried to just start getting the Muraiki on its own with that roll, and then start to expand it outwards. And a lot of times it would just be a lot of that kind of sound before I'd get like an actual rolling effect. And so on and so forth. But yeah, it's quite a frustrating technique to learn. All right, and here we go. We're going to be giving our next set of 5 memberships here. Let that load up, and here we go. All right, Christian, you got yours. Very good. Kuga, you got yours. Dennis, you got your. Nong JZ and Buttered Donut, you also got yours too. So enjoy those memberships and check out that material. Now, for those who don't know where to access this stuff, if you have Google Chrome, make sure you go to my website, seanheadmusic.com/membership. There, all of the videos are laid out. So as long as your Google account or your YouTube account is connected with your browser, you'll be able to open up all of the videos there, and it's so much more easy to navigate than the stuff on YouTube. Okay, YouTube's membership video search engine is just awful, right? It's not good whatsoever. So please go to the website in order to access all this stuff. It's much, much better. Now, I also want to mention too that we are going to be giving away another flute soon through the membership. So now that you have a membership, I would recommend that you continue continue it into the future, because next year we will continue giving away new flutes. I even have a couple of the flutes here that planning on giving away, but I'm not going to show them yet. This month's main giveaway is just the memberships for people. So let's see. It says, it looks like I'm not allowed to. Am I allowed to give out more? Let's see. Okay, so I'm only allowed to give away those. So for those who are watching the stream, consider giving a gift of one of the memberships, or buying some memberships for people to join the channel as well. So what you can do is, there's that little money sign at the bottom right next to the emoji character. So you can click on that, and then you can go to membership gifting, which is buy memberships, and then you can gift those, and then people can just accept them as they have been previously. And this will probably be something that we'll do again in the future, but again, we're only going to be giving the lowest tier of these. All right, so, Christian, if you really want to tease, here's what we'll do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk off camera, and I'm going to play one of them. That way, you don't know what it looks like, but you can at least hear it. One of our potential giveaway flutes in the future. But that being said, and that being sort of teased even further, is that these sort of giveaways are only possible because we have a YouTube community that's very supportive. Now, I wish the YouTube community is a little bit more active, especially within the Discord, but you guys are very supportive, and with that, I can give away more flutes. I can, I can give away memberships like this. I can do more things for everybody as the more that support comes in. So do consider, either gifting the memberships to other people, or signing up for yourself in a higher level, and so on and so forth. So yeah, there's that. Now we're approaching up to the half-hour mark. And I was thinking of this. We are in our so-called Christmas season here, and I thought that maybe a Christmas tune or two would be nice. So, I'm going to play a couple Christmas tunes on the Shakuhachi. So we have. Here we go. Alright, and here we are. So here's our first Christmas tune for this Christmas season. That's the Old Christmas Tree, which is a traditional German carol, and so on and so forth. All right, let's try another one. Another old but new Christmas carol. Also, please feel free to send in your recommendations on what you'd like to hear on Shakuhachi as far as Christmas music goes. Let's see here. Okay, pulling up the next one. Tannenbaum. Yeah, actually, Svenja, we can definitely do that. We can arrange a little Christmas get together on the Discord and do some stuff there. That's not a problem at all. Let me find. Why is it always so hard to find just a simple melody? All right, here we go. Now we got our next melody. I want to make sure that we're not in the. Never thought I'd hear Christmas cover on Shakuhachi. See? No? The season that always gives. The season that always gives, Aura. Here we go. There we go. It looks like we're back now. Okay, well, I don't even know what tune this. I don't think I know this tune. You're giving me a new tune here, Svenja. Ah, it's Bach. Okay, I see now. I don't even know how fast this is, but well, let's go with it. So here we go. This is the Ich stech an deiner Krippen Air. Sorry. There he is. I think I do know this, but I don't think I've ever actually sang it in German. I remember this melody as singing an English version though. But there's that one. All right. Let's see here. This one. All right. Any other request on the Christmas end of things? Let me see here. I'm trying to think if there's one I really like. That a lot of the Christmas songs too. Like I also feel like are not the best musical. How to put it? Not the most creative thing in the world. Ah, there's a nice couple things here. We can work with those. Okay. Excelis Gloria in Excelis Deo. Great melody. Same one. Let's see here. Actually, these are actually pretty good. These are pretty good recommendations, actually. Why do things have to be written in like 16 flats? Like, it just doesn't work for me. All right, here we go. Let's just try this. There you go. Chestnuts roasting on open fire. And okay, let's try this one. And maybe we can just try it. Same thing. I won't do the whole piece, but you know, just a little bit here and there. Okay, the theme song from Die Hard. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas movie. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Nothing gives you more in the holiday spirit than Die Hard. Sorry. Also, like, I'm looking up some of the sheet music and see which ones like just fit the shakuhachi the best. Sometimes they like, you know, you find something. It's like, oh, I finally found the exact. Oh, it's in 6 flats. I don't want to deal with that. It's like you could do it, but it doesn't sound as good. I have to actually listen to White Christmas once just to hear it. Let me pull it up and get demonetized really quick. Let me just hear it quickly. We won't let. We're not going to let Gucci have their moment on my channel right now, though. I'm going to let that ad go through. Okay, there we go. All right, so I remember now. The rhythm is like, you choose. There you go. A little bit of a White Christmas. Okay, here. All right, let's see if we can do maybe one more. Let's see what else you guys wrote here. So, the The Bleak Midwinter. That's a classic. And thank you for noticing I do have a short of that too. We're sorry, this tune is not presently available in your country. Thank you. Here we go. I'll do a different key than the one that I did for the short. So this is actually the music is actually by Gustav Holst, who was a very, very well recognized composer in his day, and even today he has his most famous work is The Planets. So you're probably aware of that of like Jupiter is a really famous part of that suite, the Planet Suite, and just for those who may not remember it. I will just pull up really quickly this. That way you can hear it. After these brief messages from our sponsors. The planets, much like Star Wars? Exactly. Alright, so here's the opening of Jupiter, which is this movement from the Planet Suite. Really famous for the French horn part. A lot of youth orchestras play this tune as well. But really great set of pieces. So if you haven't heard the Planet Suite before, I highly recommend checking out Gustav Holst's The Planet Suites. Another thing about Gustav Holst, though, is that's his most famous work. Now, he has another one called The Perfect Fool. And it's actually an opera. But there is a suite version of it as well. Now, I really like opera. So that's the first thing to know about me, is that I really do like it. And there's a ballet from it as well. The ballet from the opera. It's only about 10 minutes. So here's the melody. And that famous thing there is it's a that little line. That's it's a C minor 9 9 chord there. Beautiful viola solo in here as well. So once more. not a Christmas song, but it is a very good piece. So if you like that kind of stuff, highly recommend Gustav Holst's The Perfect Fool, at least the ballet music. And if you like that genre of very, very melodic and striding melodies, highly recommend the opera. Another opera that just came to mind too that's underappreciated is The Queen of Spades. So definitely watch The Queen of Spades if you like opera and you don't know it. All right, I'm going to try once more to see if I can give out more memberships here. Okay, it won't let me give out any more memberships, unfortunately. So it would have to be up to one of you guys. I've been cut off. It says I'm not allowed to give out any more memberships. So if you feel if you're feeling extra gift giving this Christmas season, consider donating memberships to your fellow Shakuhachi enthusiast. We have 15 votes for the Renzoh poll here on how long you've been playing Shakuhachi. So out of 15 people, less than 6 months is 27%. Less than 1 year is 20%. The 1 to 5 year category is 40%, and 5 years or more is the 13%. So quite a round, a diverse group of listeners in terms of years of playing. And we definitely have a diverse audience of people, all of us being brought together because of the Shakuhachi. And for what aspects of playing the Shakuhachi present the greatest challenges, we went over many different themes and topics today, which are of great importance. And so thank you very much for joining me here today. And I welcome the 10 new membership subscribers into the membership program on the Renzoh Studio. I will recommend once again that you go to seanheadmusic.com/memberships, where is it membership or membership? I can't remember. It's membership. There's no S at the end. So let me remove that one and go .com/membership. Now there, it's very simple. If you go there, you'll be able to access the you'll be able to access all the videos, and what's really nice about it is that it's layered out in drop menus, so you can go by category. So it's just organized out for your convenience, because on YouTube it's so inconvenient to try to find any video through the membership programs. So with that being said, don't forget to like this video, share this video, comment on this video, and if you didn't receive a membership, sign up for the membership and get a chance to win yourself a new bamboo flute. With that being said, Merry Christmas and have a wonderful holiday season. Spend it with your family and loved ones, and play row for 10.